Welcome back, friends. Here we are for week 3's check-in with our goals. Obviously, it is very early in the year, and we are not seeing a lot of progress on the trackers just yet, but just think of the scale of a 52-week year and being 3 weeks in. But that is not to say that I'm not making progress. The first thing I like to do when checking in with my goals is to go back to my main goals and focus page. I quickly read through everything, add or check off anything appropriate, but essentially just refocus my mindset so the things that are important to me are front of mind. After that, I'm going to go into my quarter that I'm currently in and take a look at the things I'm more closely focusing on. I know the things I'm working on this month, so I'm keeping that in mind, and we'll look at that more closely in a moment. But just going through my quarterly goals, I know I'm working on the health insurance issue. Honestly, there have been some things that have come up work-wise that may require me to pivot and change directions on this a little bit to get to this goal, just a different path. I have made a little bit of progress on this, getting rid of some things, and I have a big project related to this that I'm working on this week. I haven't really done anything for the books. As for the weight loss, it may not be anything major, but I am doing some extra hiking this month, and that movement is good on so many levels. Obviously, if I want to see results, I need a more well-rounded approach, because this past weekend, I had French fries 3 days in a row. I am working on my plans for the year and setting up my yearly trackers, but the steps and ideas for all goals is not a main focus for this month, so I'll be working on that throughout the next few weeks. I might be able to do the dental cleaning by the end of this month. If not, most likely beginning of next month. So again, not a main focus for this month, but it is somewhere in the back of my mind. And same with this, it's in the back of my mind, not a main focus, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen a little further into the first quarter. So far this month, I already had 3 get-togethers with different friends, so I am well on track for quarter 1 to have 10. So far, I have not planned any activities with other people, but again, it is something that I have in the back of my mind if an opportunity presents itself. And this is why I want to come in here, just to kind of take a look, refresh my mind on the things I want to keep an eye out and the things I'm supposed to be working on. Okay, let's flip over to our month. Here, as always, we are looking at my monthly goals. Now that we are about halfway through the month, I like to come in here and reorganize and reprioritize in my brain what I'll be working on next. I also like to make sure that everything that has been done is checked off and I am marking some sort of progress. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Since last week, I have not done anything more on my taxes, unfortunately, but based on my steps, I would say I'm about a quarter way there. I will just color in a quarter of my tracker here. I do enjoy that visual representation of where I'm at with each of the goals. As for organizing the pantry, that is the big project I'm tackling this week. Not really in the mood for it, but I will be reaching for some tools in my tool belt to kind of get over that mental hump. At this point, it just seems like a big and overwhelming project, but I'm not letting myself off the hook. As far as setting up my journals, I did go through before I sat down to film and look to see what pages I have completed so far. It looks like I'm pretty much on track with about half of the pages completed. So I am going to fill in about half of my tracker. As for the hikes, I did 3 all in this last week. I do have a 4th plan, so if anything, I can just add that here. But for the purpose of my goal, I will consider this goal completed. It's very satisfying to be able to fill in that tracker completely and come to this page and see that something has been done. And it really draws the eye to where the attention needs to be. So that's awesome too. And I'm not sure if this last box is something that I mentioned in the past video, but I am just using it as a to-do list. If there are specific things that need to get done this month that I am not tracking anywhere else, for example, a monthly thing will be paying bills. I want a place where I can put that so I remember. I am also pulling things from my big to-do list, either things that have become urgent or things that need to get done this month, this season. So like in this month, I want to plant my seeds and clean up one of the garden areas, or my computer's filling up, so I need to transfer some files onto an external hard drive. And since I don't have specific days that I want to get these done, I want to keep them here. But I also don't want to forget that these things need to be done. I gave myself 10 spots for tasks here. I think ultimately by the end of the month, I will have 10 tasks on this list. But if I don't, I can just mark the percentage of the tasks that I did complete on my tracker. But I will not be filling in this tracking icon until the month is over and I see ultimately how many tasks I had and how many of those I did get done. So once we've filled these in, it is glaringly obvious where my attention needs to focus, which works out so well since this is the project I'm tackling this week. And on that note, let me show you what I'm working on. All right, here is the before of this storage pantry room that has become a complete mess and a dumping ground for all the miscellaneous things that don't have a home. Now, this area may be the home for some of these things, but I can't be living with these piles that are threatening to topple over at any minute. Honestly, it's hard to even get in there, so this is definitely a point of frustration for me. The shelves you see back there store some seasonal decorations, some kitchenware that I don't use that often, all my extra paper products, cleaning products, personal care products, cleaning tools, and underneath the shelves, I have some flower pots I'm currently not using, as well as some buckets with cleaning products and tools I am currently using. This is the storage for that. And ultimately, it works very well. It's just that when things come into the home that don't have a designated spot, they end up getting stuffed into one of the shelves. Now, I don't really store food here, although I may have a couple of dry goods that came in larger quantities, and I don't want them to take up space in my kitchen cabinets. So I do think I have maybe an extra thing of coffee and tea there, maybe a couple extra herbal teas. But again, this is not really a spot for food storage. Now, the boxes that you see up front here, below all the clutter, those boxes are full of books. In my previous place, I had several bookcases filled with books, and I generally love books and love reading. But I have found that I usually don't go back to the same book a second time. And because this place has a tendency to flood, having unwanted paper storage is just not the right move. Ultimately, I want to donate most of the books in these boxes. There may be some in there that are not anything someone would be interested in. I'm pretty sure some of them may be textbooks from college, and that was so long ago I don't think they'd be useful to anyone. But honestly, after all this time, I'm not even 100% sure what's in there. And that's part of the reason I'm really dreading this. I don't know what Pandora's box I'll be opening. Obviously, all the stuff you see on top is just random stuff that's been added to these boxes and either needs to go or find a permanent place. All right, now that you know what I'm dealing with, let me share with you the plan I have to start this overwhelming task. First, I need to clean up the floor in the kitchen and hall, as well as clean up the kitchen counters a little bit, just in case I need room to put anything. Because in order to even get into this room, I will need to take a bunch of things out. Some things I can temporarily put on the kitchen floor because I know they'll be immediately going back. But other things, like the boxes, for example, those I want to drag out to the hallway because each one of them needs to be looked through. And most likely, I won't be able to do it all in one day. For today, once I get enough stuff out of that room for me to be able to get in, I'll start from the back and start organizing the shelves. I'll go through shelf by shelf, see what I have, try to maintain a mindset of, do I really need this? Can I possibly get rid of it? And hopefully set everything up in such a way that everything that I am keeping has a place of its own. And if I'm reaching for something, I don't have to make a complete mess because so many things are in the way. And then I can easily put that thing right back where it's supposed to be because I can actually access that space. That's the hope, at least. All right, guys, this is where I'm at. I moved some buckets out of the way here, so I don't have anything blocking my access now. The next thing I think I'm going to tackle is putting away all the Christmas stuff. All of that goes up on the top shelf up there. And since most of it is on the ground, I think that'll make a big difference. And it's a quick little task. Now, because like I said, this might take a couple of days, I really won't have any progress updates for you today. But come back next Wednesday when I check in with my goals again, and I'll definitely be showing you the before and after photos. Please send me all your good vibes so I can get this project done. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.